All right, what is up, guys? So, I recently celebrated my 5th wedding anniversary with my wife, and her and I went on a little vacation, as you do, and we were in Destin, Florida. And while I was there, we did make some time to peruse the local nerd and hobby stores, and I did pick up a new Zoid while I was there. So, I don't remember the name of the store off the top of my head, but I'll try to add a picture in the video of the store, and I got the HMM Guyzak finally. So we have a little Scorpion to build pretty soon. Should be a pretty easy kit to build, but it is a new mold that I have never touched before, so I'm pretty excited about that. But we come home from this vacation, and I see an absolute plethora of new Zoids announcements. So many new announcements that I could barely wrap my head around all of them and get them all straight in my head. Just an absolute explosion of like unthinkable announcements that they've made. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is a new like just promotional animation that they did. Those of you have probably already seen this, but it's just like a little mini anime with like a battle going on, and this is basically like a promo for some new products that are going to have. It's pretty cool animation. It looks great, sounds great, and it is sort of a preview for some new products because we get two new Zoids that fight the Death Soarer here. I definitely recommend watching the whole thing if you are, well, I mean, you're going to watch it anyway because you're a fan of Zoids. It's awesome. I think it's really, really cool, but it is basically just a glorified commercial. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm fine with that. Very, very cool. So on to the announcements here. We have the AZ Canory Molga. So really funny typos here. So first of all, the wonderful Grok translation, Gork, what does this mean? Says Canory Molga, which is really funny. And then the official text right here says Canory Molga, which is still wrong. It should be Canonry, which I'm pretty sure the HMM version gets correct. But this guy looks awesome. I definitely love the amount of detail on the cannon, and I'll probably will pick this up. I had an opportunity to get the AZ Molga actually at the same place that I got the HMM Guyzak, but I passed up on it because it doesn't really serve a really good niche in my collection unless I just wanted an army of worms, because I already have the HMM Molga and Canory Molga sets, and I have the original wind-up Molga. So this one will scale better than the RMZ Molga will, but neither of those really fit that niche in my collection. But I probably will get this one because this one is at least distinctly different and not the bog standard one. So stay tuned for a release date on this guy. He does look pretty cool. We have a entirely new product line coming up here. So these are the Adamas Machina series, the AMZ series, and I don't know anything about this company that's making these or the artists that did the design work on them. I don't really know any of the details there. But the first AMZ Zoid that was revealed was the Berserk Fury, and there's a bog standard Berserk Fury version that's coming out that has the basic armor, but they've already announced that they're doing a changing armor system product to go with it, which is going to have both the Sturm unit and the I believe it was called the JAGD unit, or the JAGD, and I'm not exactly sure if that's how that's pronounced or if that's like a Gaelic thing, and has a different pronunciation. I'll be willing to be corrected for sure. But the Sturm unit we saw in some other side media and in the video games, the Versus games. But the JAGD unit we pretty much exclusively saw only in the Game Boy games. So this was a Zoids Saga, Zoids Legacy. Yeah, here we go. It's on the can right there. Yeah, JAGD. Looks awesome. I wish I was a bigger fan of the Berserk Fury, but these things do look incredible, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they look like in person. And I would consider picking this up at least just for the JAGD unit, because it's the only time in the entirety of Zoid's history we've ever had this as a model kit. We do have the Sturm unit on the HMM line, and I actually have the Sturm unit cast system HMM customized parts kit that I need to build and attach to my HMM Berserk Fury, and I plan on doing that soon and doing a video on that. Here are some pictures of what the kit looks like. So there's already a painted, finished prototype on the show floor. So all of these announcements, I forgot to say, all these announcements come out of the Japan Model Hobby Show. And so there were all different types of companies with booths and demoing different stuff, and just really, 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 really cool stuff. So that's the Sturm unit, and that's the JAGD unit. And I think this thing looks incredible. Just really, really cool. Just extremely over the top as well. He's got little mini Genobreaker claws and little cannons on the side. How cool is that? Next up. So they announced for the Advanced Z AZ line that we are getting, of course, the Liger Zero changing armor system. So we have, of course, Jaeger, Schneider, Panzer, and Zero X. This is not a surprise at all. We knew we were going to get these at some point because the AZ line started out with a Liger Zero and then also the Liger Zero Phoenix. Liger Zero Phoenix was definitely more important because we hadn't had a new adaptation of the Liger Zero Phoenix since the original, so I do think that was the priority, whereas we've had quite a few different iterations of these between the original, the HMM, the Bandai version, and now the AZ version as well. So I'm sure those are going to be fine. I'm not really interested in getting a AZ Liger Zero at this time. Next up. So in the animation, we see these two new Zoids. So that you can see it right here. This is the Blade Liger Panzer, as well as the Liger Zero Falcon. So we are getting model kits of these. That's like unthinkable, right? Wow, these are so cool. I can't believe this. I want both of these real bad, dude. Holy shit. So the Liger Zero Falcon, at least there is a precedence for this in the canon. As far as I know, there's not one for the Blade Liger Panzer, but I'm willing to be corrected on that. Liger Zero Falcon, again, was in the GBA games and I think it was in the battle story, and it was also in the manga, if not mistaken. So there's at least a precedence for this. It's just a even more advanced cast armor system in the same vein as the Phoenix. And then the Blade Liger Panzer here is really just the Panzer cast armor system for the Liger Zero slapped onto the Blade Liger, which seems really silly. But as we can see from the animation here, the one thing that I like about it is they at least, like we saw it just a second ago there, they at least have like color coded the armor to match the Blade Liger. So it's like blue cannons. This is probably not going to load for me, but just take my word for it. It's so what I was worried about is that it was going to be the same color scheme as the Liger Zero, and it was going to be the green cannons just slapped onto the Blade Liger, and I wasn't going to care for the look of that. But they did actually color match the weapons to fit on here. So this is extremely cool. I don't know how this is supposed to work from a lore standpoint, but I don't really care because it's cool. Because the Liger Zero was specifically designed to integrate the cast armor system nonsense. So it's not like you can just build something like that and slap it onto the Blade Liger. It would have to be specifically designed for it, which I'm guess there's a lore explanation for that. But it doesn't really matter because it's really cool. Definitely a like customized garage kit dream come true right here for sure. And there is a picture of the unpainted prototype of the Blade Liger Panzer, and it does just look incredible. So I do like how the Panzer cannons are on the back where the blades would normally go, and so they do kind of flip all the way forward like that. Some of these pieces look a little bit rough in their sort of raw state, I will say. Like this piece right here on the end, it looks a little bit rough, like it could use a little more sanding, but I could just be wrong about that. But also, it's a prototype, so what do you expect? I mean, it could be that These are just 3D printed pieces, and they haven't gone through the entire assembly process for this yet. Who knows? But this is what it will look like, and I have every reason to believe that it's accurate to the final product to an extent. Next up, so we've got this guy in the RMZ line as well. So this is the Command Wolf Urban Combat specifications. Again, this is, I believe one of these appeared in Chaotic Century at some point, but they also are in the Game Boy games as well. And this is extremely cool. It's just a regular Command Wolf, but it has extra armor. It's got this missile pod that he kind of clenches between his teeth there. It's got that cage around the cockpit, and of course it's got the big ridiculous cannons. And yeah, I think this thing looks awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to picking up this guy because, as you saw from the video they made, I'm a big fan of the RMZ Command Wolf. I like it a lot. And again, first time that this specific version of the Command Wolf has ever been made into a model before, if I recall correctly. Next up. So also in the RMZ line, we got a prototype for the Z-Bat, which I don't think is a Zoid that has had a new adaptation since the original motorized, or I'm sorry, wind-up version, which would have been a 1999 NJR Takara Tomy one. And it looks pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to pick this guy up, but cool to see that representation there for sure. So the next, we talked about the Adamas Machina Berserk Fury earlier. The next Adamas Machina Zoid that will be released, which at the time is still, like I said, an unpainted prototype, will be the Blade Liger. And another 9,000 different Blade Liger molds, I swear to God. He looks pretty cool. It's not really my preferred aesthetic with the Blade Liger. I don't like how kind of stubby and spiky a lot of these fins are. Again, they're just trying to do their own reimagining of how the Zoid looks, and between all the different ones that I've talked about in the past, I don't think I'm that interested in picking this guy up. But I also don't know, like, from a construction standpoint, what is going to be different about these Adamas Machina guys. So again, maybe I'll get the Berserk Fury JAGD unit, and then if I like that one enough, maybe I'll consider this guy. But I largely think I'm going to pass on this line. I don't have room in my collection for an entire other product line at this point. So I think that is it for all this comes from the official Zoids Twitter. This one comes from this Japan Hobby Magazine Twitter, these pictures. So I was able to get some different angles on the Adamas Machina Blade Liger. But now onto the Kotobukiya Twitter, because we do have some more news. Melisandre from Unicorn Overlord is available for pre-order. This is not a Zoid, but I do want her a lot, along with the other Unicorn Overlord statues. But anyway, on to the actual Zoids announcements. So, for those of you who are aware, which should be all of you, the HMM line has not been able to reproduce the Zoids featuring the anime characters for a number of years. I'm not sure as to the reason for that. I have assumed it was a copyright issue where they had the copyrights to the Zoids models and the battle story, but not to the specific anime characters. It was like a different licensing thing. Whatever the issue was, it appears to be cleared up because we are finally, after all these years, getting reissues of the HMMs that are to the anime's character specifications. So this gun sniper here and this lightning sykes are not generics. This is specifically Lena's gun sniper from New Century Zero, and this is specifically the Irvine lightning sykes with all the redundant armor that falls off in the same episode that he gets it in. Yeah, so this looks really good. Some of the silver plastic I'm not super crazy about, but yeah, and of course they're showing other HMMs at this booth as well. So yeah, this is really cool. I'm really excited about that. I don't think there's any of the character specific Zoids. Oh, the the Saber Tiger Shoebolt special. I definitely want that if they ever reissue that, because that one is very different than the Great Saber, and you can kind of piece together a version of that with the Great Saber and the Beam Gatling Unit customized parts kit. But other than that, that kit is pretty unique. So I would definitely be looking forward to getting that if they ever reissue that. So this is super exciting. But that is pretty much it for all the new Zoids news, which, like I said, is a lot. So definitely go follow the official Zoids Twitter and the Kotobukiya Twitter and all that for all these updates. And I will see you guys next time.